Tournament is presented by App Foundation Repair, the NDOT Highway Safety Office, Roofing Service Company, High Electric, Southeast Community College, Members Owned Credit Union, Union Bank and Trust, Mosaic, the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame, Platte Valley Equipment, and Double Eagle Golf. Now calling all the action from Pinnacle Bank Arena, here's Nick Sainer.
It's our final quarterfinal of day number 2 here at the Girls State Tournament. Nick Sainer, Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman joining me for the nightcap between the 3 seed, the Sidney Red Raiders, and their 24-2 record going up against the Beatrice Lady Orange and their 17-4 record on the 2022-23 season. Jay, what's up, man? How's it going?
Going pretty good, man. It's the last game of the first round here, and there's a lot of excitement. Both teams traveled well. Both teams have had pretty good seasons and winning records. Obviously, Sidney's coming in 24-2, and anytime that you won that many games, doesn't matter where you're from in the state, you're here to compete. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Let's go ahead and get to the starting for both these teams. First, for the 6th seed, the Beatrice Lady Orange, once again 17-4, making their 14th state tournament appearance. They're going to send Avery Barnard, Riley Schwiezo, Addison Hatcliffe, Kiera Busboom, and Ellie Jurgens out there to start things for the Lady Orange. For Sidney, the Red Raiders, they'll send out there number 2, Regan Stanley, number 3, Peyton Schrottberger, number 11, Reese Riddle, number 24, Kayla Westby, and rounding out the starting 5, number 35, Katie Ramsey. Beatrice will be in their black uniforms with orange lettering and numbers, while Sidney's in their home whites with a little bit of red down the side and red lettering and numbers. And Beatrice wins the tip. The Lady Orange, the 6th seed, while Sidney is the number 3 seed here at the state tournament. The winner of this game goes on to play Omaha Skutt tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And we have a foul early on here as it will go on number 24 for Sidney, Kayla Westby, as she bumped the ball handler on the hip a little bit. First team foul on both Westby and the Red Raiders.
Sidney came out in the 2-3 zone. I think, the size difference between them and Beatrice, they run this 2-3 zone to try to nullify that. But, first foul is always first game jitters, aggressiveness. Sidney, though, even though they're playing in a 2-3 zone, they're not just sitting back there and just letting you pass around. They're playing with a high pressure, good communication. So they're still going to force Beatrice to shoot the ball effectively and quickly from the outside.
So now Beatrice on the right side on the perimeter. You mentioned the first game for both these teams. It feels like the state tournament's been going on for a substantial amount of time since we've had so many games on the ticket here, but we remember that this is just the first game for both of these teams.
Right.
The winner goes on to tomorrow's semifinal. Left side, now they throw it to the top of the key. Passes deflected, taken away by Katie Ramsey of Sidney. Up the floor we go. Cross-court pass up in the lane, and there's going to be a whistle and a travel violation on number 3 for Sidney. Peyton Schrottberger, the junior forward, took too many steps en route to the goal.
But you see what Sidney's trying to do, though. They're playing 2-3 zone and half court. Now they're out in a 1-2-2 full court trap. So they're up in the pace, making you play their way, and then coming back and playing a high-pressure 2-3 style defense. So there's going to be an exciting game once they get in the rhythm. I always say this, Nick, when you're in a big tournament, state tournament, and you're playing multiple games, the first game is always the hardest. So both teams are nervous, and both teams are definitely prepared. So the first couple of minutes is huge to get the first game jitters out of your system. 3-point
attempt is missed from the far corner, but a putback by number 10, Addison Hatcliffe, is good for Beatrice. Lady Orange lead this one 2-0, 6:36 to go, opening quarter of play. Sidney's pocket gets picked, and Beatrice going the other way now. Tried to throw it off her foot to save it in bounds, and it goes right into the hands of number 2, Reagan Stanley of Sidney. And we're all knotted up at 2 apiece with 6:20 to go in the opening frame. Up the floor goes Beatrice, and we have a little bit of a reach-in foul en route to the basket as Ellie Jurgens is trying to drive baseline. Sidney fouls him. It was on the floor.
Well, you see what the type of style Sidney's playing, they have to be cognizant of team fouls, because you don't want a good free throw shooting team like Beatrice to be in the bonus this early in the first half. So 2 quick fouls. They got to settle down and play some defense. But as you see right there, the attempted steal by Katie Ramsey, they are going to try to play and up this pace on Beatrice, because they must have saw something in their scouting report that they might play a little bit slower and try to nullify that size advantage that they have.
So Beatrice working around the perimeter. Now they'll have a dribble drive by Riley Schwiezo, kicks it out left side in the near side corner Entry pass on the elbow. Ellie Juergens throws up an acrobatic shot. No good, just off to the right on the floater. And here come the Sidney Red Raiders back in transition. Kicks it out. Sorry, Jay, go ahead.
Yeah, you see it right there. It's up the pace. They're pushing the pace on defense. They're attacking the boards. And then once they get the defensive rebound, they are straight into fast break, and they are all over the floor. This is going to be a competitive game by two highly skilled teams.
Couple missed shots by Sidney, but the Red Raiders get the offensive rebound, and on their third crack at it, we get a defensive foul as they tried to drive baseline and get a cross-court pass on the far corner. So foul on the floor, and now Sidney, the Red Raiders, will have to inbound from underneath their own hoop.
We see it right here, Nick. I talked about the high pace on defense and on offense that they're playing and Sidney's playing. They just substituted 4 new players. So they know that's when you look at their averages per game, it's spread out because a lot of people play and they expect to play at a high pace.
Number 10, Chloe Ahrens has checked into the game, and we have a whistle and a stoppage in play. I believe it's going to be a foul on Beatrice. Missed who it was, but either way, Sidney will keep the possession. They look to inbound it. They kick it out to the near corner. A drive here by Reese Riddle in the lane. Nice spin move off the glass, and it falls. 4-2, the Red Raiders out in front. So 5:11 to go. First quarter up the floor. They break the press with a pass up floor to Ellie Juergens. Sidney fans wanted to travel, but she kept that right pivot foot. Here is Addison Hatcliffe. Passes right side. Loose ball for a moment, but the Lady Orange get it back. Schwiezo in traffic. Kicks it out near side. Entry pass to the left elbow. Ellie Juergens kicks it out once again. Left side, Avery Barnard driving, trying to navigate her way through the defensive pressure. Ellie Juergens in the lane, and she took too many steps. That's a traveling violation on Juergens.
Well, look, it's not just the defensive rebounds that Sidney's focusing on. They're trying to get their hands on balls, and then also they're trying to force you into self-inflicted wounds, which is obviously turnovers and error travel. So they're trying to get Beatrice to play their way. Now Beatrice is coming out with a little bit of a three-quarter court man-to-man defense to try to up the pace and try to get Sidney to play a different way. But you have to be cognizant of it because when you have a player like number 13 able to break the press, Jordan Deneville was able to break the press and get to the hoop and get a foul, not only allows Sidney to rest, recover, but they get to recharge for defense.
Well, one big thing that we've seen over the course of all these games that we've had on the ticket, depth is such a huge thing. Whether it's Class A, whether it's Class D2, it doesn't matter. Your adrenaline's pumping and you get gassed a lot quicker when you're playing in the state tournament than you might think. So depth is such a key piece. Jay talked about it just a moment ago, being able to bring in wholesale changes and having total line changes with 3 or 4 types of play or 3 or 4 different players every time you make a substitution is a huge benefit for your team.
Well, it's excitement and anxiety. You know, this is a goal that a lot of these young ladies been thinking about probably since 3rd or 4th grade. Coming here and watching it. So now they're finally here, and so that's what you can really run out of gas early. So Sidney is not afraid to mass substitute, but Beatrice seems to be handling the pressure pretty good, right? You know, when you look at the team fouls, Sidney have 4 fouls already. Beatrice has 3, so it's almost even. Not even halfway through the first quarter, and Sidney has substituted 3 separate times. Beatrice is rolling with their 5 starters, so they feel very confident in their conditioning and, more importantly, Nick, execution against this high-pressure team of Sidney.
We're almost halfway through the first quarter. Here come the Lady Orange down 4-2 to the Red Raiders. Schwiezo has it near the logo, passes left side to Barnard, back to Schwiezo. She has the top of the key, dribbles the right side. Now cross-court pass. Nice little off-ball screen that frees up Hatcliffe. 3-ball, just a little too strong. Off the back iron, the defensive rebound goes to the Sidney Red Raiders. In transition, here they come in the lane. Floater, off back iron, and it falls for Peyton Schroepberger. And Sidney leads 6-2, and it forces a Jalen Weeks timeout for Beatrice. With 3:57 to go in the first quarter, we'll take a 30-second breather. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. At Foundation Repair, we fix basements.
Now back to high school basketball on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sainer, Jay Foreman back with you from Pinnacle Bank Arena. 3:54 to go in the first quarter. 6-2 the Red Raiders out in front of the Lady Orange. The winner of this game advances to play Omaha Scott tomorrow, just shortly after 3 p.m. That one will be at Pinnacle Bank Arena on the ticket. Schwiezo kicks. Hatcliffe, 3 ball on the way, just short, but a wide open offensive rebound look for number 22 for Beatrice. Anna Gleason misses a bunny at the rim, but she is fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, look, like I said, Beatrice, it was a timeout, a good strategic timeout by Coach Weeks there. Settle them down. You saw Sidney start to get some momentum. Got a good offensive possession right there. Good shot, good rebound. Now you got to make your bunnies. Now, the big thing when you're playing against a team like Sidney, if they get into the foul trouble early, you have to make your free throws. Yeah, because those are free, but it also keeps the momentum at a minimum for Sidney as far as because their pressure is going to be relentless all game. And you know what happens as the game goes on? It's like body blows for a team like Beatrice. So you have to be able to withstand that, but you have to make or take advantage of when you're able to get to the free throw line.
Gleason hits 1 of 2 at the line, so with 3:34 to go in the first quarter, it's 6-3 Red Raiders out in front of Beatrice. So Sidney will break the Beatrice full court press pretty easily. Now trying just to pass out and get stable on offense. Here's number 11 for Sidney, Reese Riddle. Kicks it out top, drive in the lane, off the glass, and it just misses as number 13, Jordan Denovalis, drove and should now shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Yeah, Sidney plays a high-paced, very exciting type of basketball. They are going to guard you full court, defend you half court, push the ball half or full court, and then make you defend every single second that they have the ball on offense. And that's where they wear you down. It is relentless pressure on both sides of the court. And Beatrice has to settle down and make the shots that they know that they can make because they're getting good shots. They just have to be patient.
Callie Schwiezo has checked into the game. Obviously the sister of number 4, Riley Schwiezo. So Riley passes it to Callie, and now back to Riley. She'll break across the timeline, and now she'll pick up the pace. Schwiezo, bounce pass on the right side. Ellie Jurgens, spin move, too strong on the layup. Ball being passed around a couple of times, now saved in bounds by Hatcliffe, and back to Schwiezo. To Callie Schwiezo on the right wing. She draws defenders, kicks it out. Riley Schwiezo, 3-ball, top of the key, and it rolls out. Rebound tipped around a couple of times, being fought for, bodies on the ground. It's ripped out of the hands of the Lady Orange, and up the floor we go with Sidney in transition. Right-handed layup, no good. Defensive board to Callie Schwiezo. So now, go ahead, Jake.
That was a good defensive stand there by Beatrice. They had 2 or 3 excellent shots, missed it, tacked the boards, tried to use their size advantage, did a really good job of getting back and stopping Sidney on a 2-on-1 fast break.
Riley Schwiezo misses another opportunity to 3. Got a good look both of these last 2 possessions for Beatrice, just unable to capitalize on either one. Back out top, Reese Riddle, spin move at the free throw line, kicks it near corner, 3-ball on the way too strong, and Callie Schwiezo cleans up the miss for Beatrice. So Riley now will cross the timeline, left side. Hatcliffe thought about the 3, decides to pass it up, go in the lane. May have gotten away with a walk, but decide nonetheless gets a layup to go. It's 8-5.
If you're a Beatrice fan, that was a Euro step.
Yeah.
If you're a Sidney fan, that was a walk and a travel. That was a couple extra steps. But look at Sidney right back down into your face, making you not be able to rest on your laurels. You have to play defense, and you have to be able to execute because they are bringing relentless pressure on offense and defense.
Peyton Schroepberger with a really strong take to the rim as this one goes out of bounds on the Beatrice side of the floor. Last touch by the Red Raiders. But Schroepberger went right in the teeth of that Beatrice defense and finished with a strong layup.
You know, one of the things Sidney makes you do, it's going to test the will of your ball handlers. Mm-hmm. Well, if Beatrice is in it to win it, the same ball handlers are be okay with handling that pressure for all 4 quarters. You see everybody a little bit of huff and puff in his first game jitters, big game, state championship or state tournament. But what Beatrice is doing right now is making Sidney tire themselves out and play defense, right? Because there isn't a shot clock. So now they're able to rest on offense and try to get the best shot possible, which they have. They've been getting pretty good shots, open shots that you know that they can make. Now they just got to be patient until they fall.
Layup on the right side by Hatcliffe, no good for Beatrice. Offensive rebound, though, for the Lady Orange. Out to the left wing, Callie Schwiezo now top of the key. Schwiezo picks up her dribble, throws it down into the corner. Now back out. Callie Schwezo top of the key to Riley Schwezo left wing. Beatrice working it around the floor, getting a nice look down low, but shot is blocked as Kiera Busboom went up with it, just not strong enough. Now in transition, layup from Sidney, too strong, and Riley Riddle gets the offensive rebound, and it will be deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Beatrice.
Yeah, it's 10-5 game right now. It's back and forth, exciting basketball. I'm telling you, Sidney's exciting basketball to watch. Same with Beatrice. Sidney has control of the game right now, but Beatrice is doing a good job of withstanding this first storm by Sidney with that pressure.
So number 15, Carly Black into the game for Sidney, and she turns over the basketball. And we have a quick foul called as Beatrice was trying to advance the basketball into their side of the floor. It is going to be the 6th team foul already on the Sidney Red Raiders. So now that's something to watch as we go forward, because now the entirety of the second quarter, Jay, the Beatrice Lady Orange will be in the bonus.
Yeah, so if I'm Coach Weeks, that's something that I'm definitely going to play into. I might be trying to get the ball and drive it to the hole more, even if we're going to get some shots blocked or not make them, because eventually you'll start getting to the free throws. So I'm thinking free throws and defensive rebound. If I'm Beatrice, they have the ball right now. They're going for one shot.
Yep.
About 10 seconds left. They're trying to get the best shot possible and try to get a shot that they can make right here as the clock runs down.
So Riley Schwezo kicks it out. 3 ball on the way, no good. Defensive board for Sidney. There's the horn. And at the end of quarter number 1, your score in the final Class B quarterfinal of the day, Sidney leads Beatrice 10-5. We'll be back from Pinnacle Bank Arena for the start of the second quarter just after this, right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
The Coach's Pep Talk. Done well, it creates stronger team unity, improves motivation and attitude. So when Platte Valley Equipment says we're here to help you succeed, you'll have their 100% support to help you handle any task with their John Deere equipment that gets the job done every time. And with low monthly payments, well, that should be some serious motivation to visit PlatteValleyEquipment.com. Proud sponsor of the 2023 NSAA Boys and Girls High School State Basketball Tournament.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Now back to high school basketball on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander, Jay Foreman back with you from Pinnacle Bank Arena. It's going to be Sidney Red Raider basketball to begin things here in the second stanza. They'll take it to the rack and then back it out now to the perimeter. Here's Sidney working. Katie Ramsey trying to find somebody, does so. Gets it back out to Reese Riddle on the left wing. She'll reset the offense here just underway in the second quarter, 10-5. May have gotten away with the walk there, did Reese Riddle, but she's still in the lane, kicks it out, 3 ball on the way, no good, just off to the right, and the rebound will be bounced to Beatrice, and a foul is called on Sidney. And guess what, Jay? That's the 7th team foul on the Sidney Red Raiders.
Yeah, it was a little bit over the back there by Reese Riddle. It looks Sidney is extremely aggressive on the offense and defensive rebounds. And so now look, it's Beatrice right here. We only have we're 7 minutes and 33 seconds left in the second quarter. They're at the free throw line. So if I'm on that team, whether I'm a coach or a player, I'm thinking we have to make our free throws. Not only will we get back in this game, but we could take control of this game, especially going into halftime.
So 10-5 is your score. The Red Raiders out in front of the Lady Orange at the line to shoot 1-1. The front end is no good for Beatrice, and Sidney catches a break there. Now up the floor to number 2, Reagan Stanley in the lane, misses the bunny. And the defensive rebound goes to Reagan Schwezo for Beatrice. She spins, may have gotten bumped a little too much there, no whistle. Now right side Hatcliffe, and she took too many steps up to travel for Hatcliffe and Beatrice.
A little bit excited there. Saw a little lane to potentially drive her, get a good jump shot. And you know what, Sidney with this 2-3 zone and high pressure, once you start to see some gaps, you get a little bit excited. Yeah. So, look, Beatrice has to make sure they stay composed. They got to start hitting free throws because they've missed almost every free throw they've taken. But they also have done a pretty good job of handling the pressure, so they know they can get good shots, right? So they got to start making them, make the free throws, and play defense.
Yeah, plenty of opportunities to hit a free throw, but they obviously haven't since they only have 5 points here early in the second quarter. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Beatrice.
Most times I think Sidney plays teams, I think they probably overwhelm everybody with their pressure. But the one thing I can tell you about Beatrice, they have withstood it, and they also are a scrappy team themselves. So this game is going to be a tightly contested game and a very physical game as well.
So inbound pass goes through the hands of the Red Raiders and actually ends up directly in front of us. So they'll have a sideline inbound directly to our right here on the near sideline. So Beatrice catches a break after not only missing a free throw, but also not being able to hold on to the defensive board. So now Reagan Schwezo gets it left side. Avery Barnard back to Schwezo, top of the key to Hatcliffe, right wing in the far side corner. Now Ellie Jurgens flashes on the right side of the lane, goes up with it, and she got whacked, but they're going to call a travel instead. It looked like she got hit on that left arm, Jay.
Yeah, she got hit pretty hard and wasn't able to get the shot off. Therefore, it looked like it looked like she traveled. But you know what they did? It was a little bit of adjustment there for Beatrice. They kind of did a pick down low with a little bit of weave action to get the ball to Jurgens. So look for them to come back to it because that potentially was going to be a shot they could have all night.
So Sidney leading by 5. They've doubled up Beatrice here, 10-5. 6:32 to go, second quarter. Reese Riddle with it near the logo. Takes a screen, or denies the screen left, I should say, but uses the screen right to get in the lane. Trying to draw a foul for a moment. Now kicks it out. Layup in the lane.
Ooh.
Refs are going to convene on this one.
A little bit of confusion.
They're going to talk. It's going to be a blocking foul.
Wow.
As number 0, Carson Lealing, went up with the layup. Drew the blocking foul on the Lady Orange. So now Lealing will go to the line to shoot 2 shots.
I thought it was a good job by Anna Gleason, the sophomore forward, getting there, having her feet set, and walling up to potentially get the charge. But the refs thought they were different. They're a lot smarter than us. It wasn't too bad of a foul because Sidney missed the first of the front end of the 2-shot foul. So Beatrice has to do a good job of starting to get some points on the scoreboard because sooner or later Sidney's going to be able to start scoring some more points.
Lealing goes 1 of 2 at the line, so now Sidney leads 11-5, and we have a foul on the inbound pass. And just like that, number 22 for Beatrice, Anna Gleason, will go to the line to shoot 1-1 without even taking any time off the clock.
Right. Look, they already had 8 fouls, and there's 6 minutes and 19 seconds left in the first half. And so, again, Beatrice, this game is now starting to fall right into Beatrice's lap. So they have to start hitting free throws, start making some bunny shots. They're playing a really good style of defense, and they're doing really good on the defensive boards. And they're withstanding the pressure because they're breaking the press, but they're not getting anything out of it. So now, look, Gleason was able to step up and hit the first one. She can hit the second one. Now you start to see some momentum maybe going back to Beatrice's side.
Gleason goes 2 of 2 at the line. We have a quick whistle as Gleason will get subbed out. Now, I mean, also, there's such a thing as even at the free throw line when nobody's moving around you, seeing the ball go through the rim, there's a sense of confidence, especially when you're playing in a venue like Pinnacle Bank Arena when you're not used to it.
Yeah, I mean, look, the depth perception, you don't get this every week at a high school, especially out there in Sidney or Beatrice. So it'll take them a quarter and a half to get used to shooting on these hoops.
Beatrice forces a Sidney turnover. Now right side Hatcliffe to Riley Schwezo, and we're going to have a charge call on Riley Schwezo. And it looked like there was minimal contact there, Jay.
It was I wouldn't call it a flop, but it was a good job by Reese Riddle there, highly influencing the referee right there, but also a pretty aggressive play right there, considering she has 2 fouls to step in there and try to draw the charge.
So Sidney going the other way now as number 15, Carly Black, will cross the timeline. Reese Riddle in the lane, goes up strong with it, off the glass too strong, gets her own miss, and she will be fouled on the second time up to the hoop. So Reese Riddle will go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, I mean, she's been aggressive all night, whether it's driving to the hoop, offense and defensive rebound. Missed her shot, got it right back up, and didn't look pretty, but she drew the foul. So, look, Sidney's able to rest. Reese Riddle got up, missed the first front end. So, again, the free throws is playing huge here. When you're in these type of closely contested games, it comes down to defense, rebounds, free throws, and turnovers. And so both teams have got to get their composure and start taking advantage of getting to the free throw line.
Kiara Busboom has checked back in for Beatrice as Anna Gleason takes a seat. It actually looked like Reese Riddle may have landed on Anna Gleason's right foot in the process of drawing that foul. So she comes out hobbling just a little bit, but seems to be okay on the bench over there. Here's Beatrice down 12-7. Ellie Jurgens kicks it out. Now inside. Cross court pass to the far corner. Riley Schwiezo.
Wow,
Three ball.
that was a great
Got
shot.
it. Riley Schwiezo, the senior guard, connects on the three, and it's a 2-point Sidney lead. So
Yeah.
now back out, left side, Reese Riddle on the left wing. She'll dribble the top of the key, now reverse the basketball. They give it back to Reese Riddle. She tries to drive baseline. Good cutoff there by Hatcliffe, but a better move to bring it back to the center of the lane by Reese Riddle, and she connects on the layup, 14-10 Sidney.
Yeah, let you know who Sidney might go to on the offensive end when they need a score. Reese Riddle, right? She's a two-level scorer, can drive it and then hit the mid-range, and also is very physical. But I will tell you this, Riley Schwiezo is going to control this game. She's their number one ball handler for Beatrice, right? It seems like she has the best shot from the outside, and she's able to guard multiple positions on defense. And so when you look at her season stats, she's averaging 10 points a game, but she's their leading rebounder for Beatrice. So that lets you know that she's a pretty active player.
But once again, after a foul, right as you started talking, Jay, Schwiezo's unable to hit the front end of 1-1. And on the take by Sidney and number 15, Carly Black, we have a foul from behind. I believe this one's going to go on Ellie Jurgens. So now going in line to shoot two will be Carly Black, the sophomore. 4:50 to go, second quarter, 14-10. Sidney leads over Beatrice, and Black misses the first free throw. Now I want to point out that now Beatrice has 18 fouls, and Sidney, the next Sidney Red Raider foul will put Beatrice in the double bonus.
Yeah, this is a physical game, a scrappy game. Both teams play with good energy and they get after it. So the fouls are pretty high. So you got to look and see who's going to be able to step up and hit free throws. And neither team has been able to be consistent on the free throw line. Now we have a jump ball that is going to go to Beatrice, which ideally you'd like, if you're Beatrice, you'd like a foul called right there. But it's only a 4-point game. And Beatrice is probably telling themselves they haven't played their best. Sidney saying we are starting to wear them down because they haven't been able to take advantage of any opportunity we've given them in the first half.
Hatcliffe on the left side has a stingy defender on her. Now gets it out, cross court. Now top of the key, left side. Hatcliffe, three ball to draw it within one. No good. Offensive rebound, and she is fouled. Number 12 for Beatrice. Kiera Busboom will go to line to shoot two.
That was a great offensive series for Beatrice. Came down, really good ball movement, inside out action, reversed it so quick, and got a really good shot, and then which allowed Busboom to get the offensive rebound. Now she even did a even more good of a job. She stepped up to the free throw line and hit the first free throw.
So now Beatrice down by 3. Have one more free throw on the way. Second free throw up and no good. Ball getting tipped around a couple of times, and it's taken by Reese Riddle. She'll cross the timeline. Reese Riddle starts to back down at the perimeter. Three ball on the way. It's good for number 10, Chloe Ahrens, and it's a 17-11 Sidney lead.
Yeah, it was a quick shot on the offensive side by Sidney, quicker than they've usually had, but right on the money with a deep three ball.
It's now right side. This is number 2, Avery Barnard. Now Hatcliffe inside. Back to Barnard in the far corner. She dribbles a couple of times, throws up a shot. Should have probably passed it off to the side, but it's rebounded by the Red Raiders with 3:46 to go in the first half. Here comes Reese Riddle, top of the key. She instantly drives to the left, stops, fakes. Nice move by
Kevin
Reese
McHale
Riddle.
move. That's a little old school, little dipsy do right there by Reese Riddle. She is playing a point forward, point guard, center, whatever position you need. She is trying to take control of this game.
Callie Schwiezo kicks it out to Hatcliffe, who drives, kicks it out to Barnard, back to Hatcliffe. Now to Callie Schwiezo on the near side. She drives to the elbow. Cross-court pass. Barnard, three ball, far corner. Just too a little long. Now Hatcliffe gets bumped on her way up, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2 shots. As she was fouled on the way up, tried to chuck up a layup as well, but no dice on that one. So 2 shots.
Now, Nick, I know Sidney's pretty deep, right? They've played already 10 young ladies already, but the amount of fouls will eventually start to wear down on your depth, and it might wear down on how aggressive you can be on the defensive side of the ball. Beatrice came down, shot a corner three, which most likely is the hardest three for you to make, right? Especially in a new gym. But what it did was allowed them to get an offensive rebound, but better yet, stop the clock, get a breather, and gain some momentum back. So if they can start to make their free throws, they can close this gap before halftime.
Second free throw is also good for the Lady Orange. Now they just trail by 6, 19-13 to Sidney. Back the other way we go. Right side in the corner. Now kicks it out to the right wing. Sidney trying to work it. Reese Riddle in the lane, spin move. Going up strong with the right hand. Too short, gets her own miss. Second attempt is up and good for Reese Riddle, and she just doesn't stop.
Yeah, Reese Riddle is playing the game that you'd expect. Well, look, you're coming in as the leading scorer for Sidney and the leading rebounder. So she's everything that's advertised, right? She's doing on both ends of the court, offense and defense, rebounding, and also she's scoring, and she's a great ball handler as well. So she's a player that if I'm Beatrice and I'm going into halftime, or if I'm getting a timeout before halftime, we're going to have to make an adjustment because she's starting to take over this game, not only by scoring, but passing and setting the table as far as on the offensive side of the ball.
Ball gets knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Lady Orange with 2.5 to go in quarter number 2. 21-13 your score. The Red Raiders out in front of Beatrice. They'll inbound it to Hatcliffe. She has a great look at a three, and she misses it off to the left. Offensive rebound for Reagan Schwiezo. Now back to Schwiezo. Down low. This is Ellie Juergens with it. Gets caught, now throws out of it to Callie Schwiezo. Back to Juergens in the lane, working on Reese Riddle. And we're going to have a foul called on the Sidney Red Raiders.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Is that on Reese Riddle? Or is it on number 35, Katie Ramsey?
It's going to be on Katie Ramsey, which will be her second.
Is that superstar status right there? Look, that could have been on Reese Riddle. That would have been a game-changing, first-half changing call if it went on Reese Riddle. So now, look, if I'm the Sidney Red Raiders, I'm trying to say, hey, look, we're up by 7. Do I keep Reese Riddle in for possibly getting that third foul, or do I get her out, get her some rest, and go into halftime with hopefully a sizable lead?
Second free throw, no good. So the Lady Orange go 1 of 2 at the line. Back the other way we go here. Katie Ramsey pushing the pace, drives, right-handed layup off the glass, and it in for Sidney, and it's a 9-point Red Raider lead.
Yeah. I mean, look, Sidney is playing at their pace. As soon as they get a defensive rebound, they are sprinting down the court. All 5 young ladies are making sure they're hitting their checkpoints, and they are putting pressure on Beatrice on the defensive side of the ball and on the offensive side of the ball as well.
Hatcliffe out top on the pass from from the pass from Juergens. Now cross court, Callie Schwiezo inside, and that's going to be a traveling violation as she took the step before she tried to power dribble there. And so number 22, Anna Gleason's going to get called for taking a stroll.
Yeah, sometimes pressure can make you speed up your process, make you do things that you normally don't do. There's a lot of travels by both teams, but especially on Beatrice early in this game. And there she is again.
Inside, Reese Riddle finishes with a turnaround layup from the left side of the rim, and it's 25-14. And this one is slowly getting out of hand for Beatrice. Once again, Jay, you talk about speeding it up, and whether you're a Beatrice, a Lincoln North Star, whether you don't have much depth, not very many teams at this level can play fast-paced.
Yeah,
one team that is Lincoln High. That's how they play, and now we're seeing Sidney being able to play fast-paced as well.
all game, and like I said at the beginning of the game, they're playing a 2-3 zone, but there is that pressure in that 2-3 zone is relentless. It's making you do things that you normally don't like to do, shoot shots that you don't feel comfortable with, but to settle it down, who does Beatrice go to? Riley Schwiezo, and she has a good up and under move to get 2 points on the board. Now a big turnover there by Beatrice. Have a chance to get a fast break. 2 points here.
Hatcliffe in transition gets it blocked from behind. It's out of bounds.
Hatcliffe, you would have liked to have somebody say Wolf, or you would like Hatcliffe to speed up her process and make that layup. Points are paramount right here, especially free ones, free throws, wide open layups. But Beatrice retains the ball.
25-16 inbound pass, left side, 3 ball on the way. Riley Schwiezo just off to the left there, and it's a defense rebound for Sidney. We're under a minute to play, and she gets her pocket picked in transition to the hoop, but Sidney keeps possession. Lean, 3 ball, no good. Defensive rebound goes to the Lady Orange, and now they're going to be out of bounds as they dove on the floor for a loose ball. But now, here's what's interesting about this. It's a tough place, plus side for Beatrice, tough place to inbound the basketball near the corner on their own baseline.
Yeah, it is. And, that would have been almost a good time for Beatrice, even though, the young lady dove for it, to call a timeout.
Yeah.
Number one, you're down by 9. You got a timeout. You get it go right before half because you want the possession still into the ball. Now, look, it's a great job with Beatrice right there, playing good defense, forcing Sidney into a timeout of their own. But when you're losing, and you have a defensive stop after you're a score, you want to keep that momentum and keep the ball in your hands. And so one timeout, even though there's 44 seconds left, wouldn't have been a bad thing right there, especially with Sidney cranking up their pressure. And it's going to come down to which team can hit free throws and which team can adjust the best coming out of halftime. Because if I'm Sidney, I'm thinking I need to make some more shots. Or other people need to make shots besides Reese Riddle, right? Because you're assuming Beatrice is going to game plan for Reese Riddle. Now, if I'm Beatrice, I'm saying, look, our offense and our system is doing well. We got to make shots and we got to make free throws. So, and you probably need to do a little bit better job of trying to find a way to stop the initial fast break of Sidney. And I don't, obviously we're on the radio, and I don't know, obviously we don't know if this game's on TV, but we're definitely talking to you through 93.7 The Ticket and the ticketfm.com and app. The speed of Sidney 1 through 10 is noticeable. So be prepared. Whoever's going to play them, this is one of the fastest teams that I've seen play this brand of basketball without any letdown 1 from 10. And so you got to give them credit, and that's why they've only lost 2 games this year.
33 seconds to go in the first half, 25-16. The Red Raiders with a 9-point lead over the Lady Orange as Reese Riddle has it. She'll back it near the logo. Just chilling there as Reese Riddle. Now she'll drive left, spin right. Kicks it out, 3 ball on the way, no good. Defensive rebound corralled by Callie Schwiezo. And now she'll do the smart thing and slow it down for Beatrice with 10 seconds on the clock. Yeah. So here is Avery Barnard. Now to Callie Schwiezo to Hatcliffe. Left side, drives, puts in the entry pass, and she is fouled with 0.6 on the clock. As number 30, Ellie Jurgens will go to the line to shoot 2.
That was a really good job by Ellie Jurgens, right? Knew the shot was going up, but she went right into box out mode, which the initial shot got tipped, went right to her. She went right back up to it, right back up there. Now she steps up and hits the first part of the first one of the front end of the 2 shots on the free throw. And so now you're able to get some points because you're trying to assume that you're not going to be able to score if you're the Sidney Red Raiders in 0.6 seconds. Yeah.
So 25-18 is the score, and there's the horn. And we have reached halftime with your score. The Sidney Red Raiders 25, the Beatrice Lady Orange 18. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with it in a couple moments with a couple thoughts from the first half between the Red Raiders and the Lady Orange right here from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements. The Coach's Pep Talk. Done well, it creates stronger team unity, improves motivation and attitude. So when Platte Valley Equipment says we're here to help you succeed, you'll have their 100% support to help you handle any task with their John Deere equipment that gets the job done every time. And with low monthly payments, well, that should be some serious motivation to visit PlatteValleyEquipment.com. Proud sponsor of the 2023 NSAA Boys and Girls High School State Basketball Tournament.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Hey, Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Hey, Joe, check out my new ride. Pretty awesome, huh?
Whoa, that's a sweet convertible. You didn't, win this on a game show, right?
Nope, this is all me and my pals at Members Own Credit Union.
Oh, yeah, they're the people with the great auto loan rates.
And right now, everyone who transfers or gets a new auto loan has the chance to win a $1,000 gas gift card, too.
Well, you know what this means.
Road trip! Fuel your adventure with an auto loan from Members Own. Restrictions apply. Go to membersowncu.org for details.
What does continuing education mean to you? At Southeast Community College, it means helping you advance. Whether that's a certification to help your current career or learning an entirely new career in healthcare, trades and industry, or computers and technology, SCC can help you take the next step. Financial assistance is available too. Learn more about our continuing ed classes at southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to personal and professional development.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements. High school basketball fans, take a trip over to the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame while you're in town for state hoops. Admission is free, and it's a great way to learn about some of the greatest athletes and teams to come out of the state, from recently to over 100 years ago in all sports. Learn more about names like Gale Sayers, Johnny Rogers, Bob Gibson, Tom Osborne, and more. Open Wednesday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. It's the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame, just north of Haymarket Park at 500 Charleston Street.
Now back to high school basketball on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander, Jay Foreman back with you from Pinnacle Bank Arena. It's halftime in our last Class B quarterfinal of the day. Sidney leads the Beatrice Lady Orange 25-18 at the break. For Sidney, and the leader of all scorers, Reese Riddle, has 9 points in the first two quarters. Seems like she had a lot more than that, but she was a lot more active just across the board, though, I suppose, in that first half.
I mean, she just played her game where she was obviously she was effective. She had a couple steals, numerous defensive rebounds, offensive rebounds, and then she had a lot of shots too. And then also she got to the free throw line, and so with 9 points in the first half, she really controlled the pace of the game. So anytime that when Beatrice made that little run early in the second quarter, they went right to her, and then she got busy. She scored 4 points right away. But she's been a big factor in the outcome, so far in the outcome of this game. It's going to be interesting to see what Beatrice does, not only to continue to handle the pressure of Sidney, but to get more clean shots or open shots like they did at times in the first half, so they can close the gap here, because the fouls go back to 0, even though both teams are up there in total. You can't count on to being in the bonus and the double bonus, pretty much at the start of the second quarter. So both teams really should be feeling good about themselves. Obviously, at halftime, Sidney a little bit more than Beatrice. But if I'm Beatrice, if I'm the coach, I'm saying, look, listen here. We've handled the pressure just fine. And it's going to be a physical game. That's obviously how Beatrice likes to play. So we have played maybe our worst half of basketball. We can't hit a free throw and can't hit an open shot.
Yeah.
And so once we do that and continue to do what we're doing, the game's right there for the picking. Now, if I'm Sidney, I'm saying the exact opposite. We're wearing them down. Our pressure is going to eventually break them, and we need to continue to push the ball. I think Sidney, for about a minute or two in that second quarter, didn't push the ball like they had all first half off the defensive rebounds, and that's where they really put a lot of pressure on you. If they don't score in fast break, they get to their checkpoints really, really quickly, run a little bit of, a three-man weave or some sort of a drive and dive type of offense and get a shot up, attack the offensive rebound, and then after makes, they go into that 1-2-2 four-court press into a 2-3 zone. And then also, Sidney not being as tall as Beatrice, they don't have to have certain players in certain spots in their 2-3 zone, so they can just, wherever you get on the defensive end, they're able to play it. How they play their 2-3 zone, which is a lot different than a lot of other teams, both in boys and girls, is that they play high pressure 2-3 zone, and they make you shoot outside shots because they double the post every single time due to their lack of size.
So once again, the winner of this game will go on to play Omaha Skutt tomorrow at 3:15. Let's run through tomorrow's schedule. We'll have the C1 semifinals coming up at 9 and 10:45 a.m. Then at 1:30, it's Elkhorn North and York in the Class B semifinal, 1 of 2. And then after that game, it'll be the winner of this game between Sidney and Beatrice versus Omaha Skutt, who beat Waverly today. And then in the nightcap, when Jay comes back and hangs out with me later that evening, it will be Millard South going up against Bellevue West, and then Millard North and Lincoln High in the nightcap. That Millard North Lincoln High game is going to be high intensity and a lot of fun. Especially there's going to be a good crowd on hand, especially because Lincoln High and Dominique Kelly always draw a good crowd.
Well, let's not think that Bellevue West against South isn't going to be exciting too. They played earlier this year, Nick. You know what the score of the game was? 93-91.
Hello.
So we're in for
Bellevue West won that one, correct?
Yeah, we are in for a treat.
That game.
Night.
That game had the most made and attempted free throws in Nebraska state history, Jay.
Yeah,
so that's gonna be interesting tomorrow night.
We're in for a treat tomorrow night. I'm excited, but I'm more excited about this second half between Beatrice and Sidney. Excited to see what Beatrice can do to get going offensively, and see what Sidney does to continue to up the pressure. Can Sidney themselves keep this pressure up and stay the path? Because you have to think Beatrice is going to make a run. Can Sidney withstand the run and then make another run themselves? And can they keep up this pressure and get a little bit more offensive efficiency besides Reese Riddle? Because eventually she's going to have somebody else to carry the water and carry the pail up the hill.
So at the half, Sidney leads to the Lady Orange of Beatrice 25-18. We'll be back with the start of the third quarter here momentarily right here on The Ticket.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements. The Coach's Pep Talk. Done well, it creates stronger team unity, improves motivation and attitude. So when Platte Valley Equipment says we're here to help you succeed, you'll have their 100% support to help you handle any task with their John Deere equipment that gets the job done every time. And with low monthly payments, well, that should be some serious motivation to visit PlatteValleyEquipment.com. Proud sponsor of the 2023 NSAA Boys and Girls High School State Basketball Tournament.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Now back to high school basketball on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sinner, Jay Foreman back with you. Start of the third quarter between Sidney and Beatrice. Sidney leads 25-18 over the Lady Orange. Starting five out there for head coach Jalen Weeks, and the Beatrice Lady Orange will be number 12, Kiera Busboom, number 30, Ellie Jurgens, number 2, Avery Barnard, number 4, Riley Schwiezo, and number 10, Addison Hatcliffe. So it will be Sidney basketball to begin things here in the third quarter. They'll now go right to left from our vantage point, sitting here courtside at PBA. Put 8 minutes on the game clock. We're ready to roll here in the second half, and they throw it in the backcourt where it's collected by Kayla Westby. Westby on the logo is met by Barnard. Now she gets her pocket picked. It's on the way out of bounds. Last touch, unfortunately, for Beatrice by Addison Hatcliffe. And so it'll stay on this end of the floor with Sidney.
That was a good defense series right there at the beginning by Hatcliffe to just step in there and get a steal. All she has to do is just get it with two hands, and she's off to the races.
In the lane, great defense on the second straight possession by Hatcliffe. Offensive rebound after the wild shot by the Red Raiders goes into the hands of Avery Barnard for Beatrice, and the Lady Orange are out and running. They cross the timeline with just enough of time. Hatcliffe kicks it out. Ellie Jurgens in the lane, spins, kicks. Schwiezo, 3-ball, and that's a good start for Beatrice as Schwiezo connects on the 3 from the right wing.
Schwiezo was waiting for that shot. I think it's something that they went into halftime instead of passing it right away like she did in the first half. She was looking to shoot, right, a great shot, and hit the bottom of the net.
Reagan Stanley looking for number 3, Peyton Schroetberger on the baseline. She was not home. It goes directly out of bounds, and it's Beatrice basketball down by 4 in the opening minute of the third quarter. So Beatrice on a 2-on-1 break. They take it hard to the rim, and that is number 12, Kiera Busboom, who is going to get called for a charge on Reese Riddle.
Reese Riddle did a really good job of stepping in there with no fear and taking that charge. Walled up, had her feet set, and stopped the momentum there of Beatrice, where Beatrice felt like they could get a fast break opportunity. Not too many, in this game tonight, but they tried to take advantage of it. Unfortunately, they got a charge.
And that was a 2-on-1 break that maybe if you're Kiera Busboom, you pass that one off to Ellie Jurgens, who has a wide open look on the right side of the hoop. Here is number 2 for Sidney. Reagan Stanley misses the wide open layup on the left side of the bucket, and Kiera Busboom comes away with the defensive rebound. Up the floor to Hatcliffe. Nobody in front of her. Nobody stops ball. She passes out to the wide side where it's Avery Barnard. Now top of the key, Schwiezo to Hatcliffe on the left wing. Thought about shooting the trifecta. Decides to pass it down. Now back out to Hatcliffe on the far corner. Working, kicks it. 3-ball, Avery Barnard just off to the right. Missed everything there. And she had plenty of time to think about that one, and that one just didn't have enough juice behind it.
Yeah, probably shot it too quick. Like I said, this pressure makes you see things that normally isn't there. And so sped up her process a little bit. Unfortunately, she had an air ball, but they're back on defense trying to stop the Sidney Red Raider offense again.
So here's Reese Riddle with it at top of the key, gets picked up by Kiera Busboom, runs into her own teammate. Now she has to pick up her dribble near the elbow, kicks it to the left side on the left wing. This is Stanley with it. They
might have been a travel right there.
They missed a travel at the top of the key. We're under 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. Right side now, here's Katie Ramsey.
That was a good play right there. A little give and go. Great cut, great pass, good little give and go. Beatrice tried to up their pressure, go a little bit of a gap defense and try to extend the pressure here. Oh, now Sidney forces Beatrice into an unforced error in a travel. A little bit close there on the call because generally the referee would like you to give the offensive player an opportunity to get her feet set
what I was going to say.
Go. A little touchy foul there. So if I'm Beatrice, we have 2 offensive fouls called against us, right?
Yeah.
And they're calling a numerous amount of travel. That's something that I need to talk about at halftime or in the next timeout to make sure that we don't have any more unforced errors so we can come back in this game.
So here is Sidney trying to extend on their 6-point lead over the Lady Orange right now up top. Guarded by Hatcliffe in the lane. Great dish to number 2, Reagan Stanley, and she is fouled on the way up. Or rather, that was number 3, Peyton Schroetberger, who tried to go up strong with it. But she missed the layup, goes to the line to shoot 2 shots.
You see Sidney here have 4 young ladies about to check into the game. So what they're trying to do is soften you up with a couple body blows at the beginning of the quarter and of the second half, and then come in with some more pressure to wear you down. And they're trying to take control of this game by the end of the third quarter.
First free throw on the way by Schroetberger is good. 28-21, Sidney extends their lead to 7. 5:21 to go here in quarter number 3.
Yeah, it's a 7-point game. Beatrice came out firing on all cylinders. Sidney was able to kind of, stop that run right there at the free throw line. But again, Beatrice has a chance right here to get this.
Pass intercepted by Sidney from Schwezo. Layup in the lane, no good. That's great defense by Schwezo with defending with not fouling in transition.
When you play a team like Sidney, you have to understand that you're going to have a couple of turnovers. You just don't want the unforced errors. Schwezo doesn't give up on the play. Turn the ball over and then stop the 2-on-1 fast break. And here she is back on defense on a 3-on-2. Great defensive play right there for Avery Barnard, right? Getting back on defense, the second person getting back on defense to help Schwezo. A big block to stop a momentum fast break there by Sidney. And so Beatrice right now knows that they can play with them on the defensive side of the ball. They got to get a little bit more efficient on offense and take care of the ball. There's too many turnovers right now being down by 7 points.
Avery Barnard of Beatrice going to Wichita State to play softball with her sister, who's already down there following her graduation here shortly. So here is Sidney playing on offense. Top of the key, Kayla Westby working on Schwezo, drives left side, kicks it out, 3-ball on the way, bounces around and out, and we have a foul down low. It's going to be on Sidney. It will go to Beatrice.
Yeah. Look, this is a highly heated and contested game. This is a physical game. They are getting after it. You like to see it. It's great sportsmanship too, is right. You see somebody on the ground. Both teams are helping each other out, but they are really getting after it. And here's Beatrice now with a 3-on-1 fast break. Can they cash in?
That's a really good decision by Avery Barnard to use the glass on the floater as well. So Beatrice brings it within 5, 28-23, 4:15 to play, third quarter. Still plenty of basketball left. 3-ball on the way, way too strong. And the rebound goes out of bounds. Last touch by Sidney. And number 0, Carson Lealing, as she was trying to get the offensive rebound, jumped in the air, just couldn't hold on to the orange. So she goes out of bounds.
What we saw there, Nick, is the first 2 times in 2 possessions straight that Beatrice made Sidney speed up even faster than they like to play. Right, you had a bad shot and then now an air ball. Now Beatrice is starting to push the ball against Sidney. So is Beatrice catching their second wind, or are they starting to become more comfortable playing in this big arena and this pressure?
So now Schwezo is going to get tied up with it, and it'll stay with the Lady Orange.
So, one thing is going to have to be paramount if you're an assistant coach or a head coach. The number of timeouts you have, when you use them, how you use them, and what you get accomplished during these timeouts, especially when you're playing a high-pressure game or high-pressure team in a highly contested game, because you're trying to come back, but then also you have to stop momentum or gain momentum by using your timeouts.
3:52 to go, third quarter. Schwezo over to the left side to Barnard, back to Schwezo, top of the key, gets a screen right from her teammate. Now Schwezo in the lane off the glass, and it falls with the contact. Great job by Schwezo fighting through the contact and finishing with the right hand, and it's a 3-point ball game.
Yeah, it's a tale of 2 halves right now, where Beatrice has came out of halftime, made some adjustments, increased their pressure, and really are going for it. And you see also one thing I noticed, Nick, is Sidney's not pushing the ball as much as they had been. Now I will say right there, now Sidney, what they do when they need a bucket, they go down and run a little bit of dribble drive and a little bit of weave, get a shot up. I think they got bailed out by a call right there. Beatrice probably should have a lot more confidence knowing that if they get a defensive stop here in this next possession or two and score, they fully have momentum of this game.
So at the line shooting 2 shots, Jordan DeNevelis. She connects on the first. Second one up and coming, misses the second. So it's just a 4-point ball game. So not a bad foul in retrospect. She only makes 1 of 2.
Yeah.
Now here is Reagan Schwezo to the right side, Hatcliffe. She gets doubled. Now reversing around the perimeter, Callie Schwezo to Riley Schwezo. She takes the screen right, tries to drive, draw the defender, kicks out to Hatcliffe, does the same thing, cross-court pass left wing to Callie Schwezo. Back to Hatcliffe at the top of the key, thought about shooting the 3, decided to pass it up. Riley Schwezo won't pass it up, and she will hit the 3 from the right wing. It's a 1-point ball game.
You see the adjustments by Beatrice and Riley Schwezo. She is coming out to shoot. She is competitive, like you said. She has been the leader of this team all year. She's scrappy on both ends. She's handled the ball. She's had 1 turnover and made up for it right away. But the adjustment is what they did in the first half is they made the extra pass, as you normally would against a 2-3 zone. But the rotation for Sidney hasn't been as crisp. The intensity for Sidney on the 2-3 zone hasn't been as high. And they must have told her that she needs to look for a shot because she's 2 for 2 on the 3-point balls, and they're nothing but net.
So we had a foul down low on the baseline on Riley Schwiezo. Now here is Sidney trying to put up a shot, no good on the attempt by Peyton Schroetberger. And Beatrice going the other way has an opportunity to take a lead with a 2-point bucket. So here is Riley Schwiezo, right side Callie Schwiezo. Back to Riley, left wing Hatcliffe. Wide open 3 left wing. Just off to the right, and it goes out of bounds. It missed everything on that. A shot attempt by Hatcliffe. She got a good look at it from the left wing, just shot it off to the right.
Yeah, it was a good shot. I mean, it was a good offensive passing the ball and rotating the ball, making the defense work a little bit. Open shot that they think that she can hit, and she hit one in the first half.
Yeah.
And so, if as a coach, you tell all your young ladies, shoot to make it. Don't just shoot it and go through the process of just throwing the ball up there. And so, it was a good shot. She just didn't make it. Now they got to play defense and try to get back into this game. Whoa.
And there's a traveling violation called on Sidney. You can hear the Beatrice fans behind Jay and I. And
yes, they are
loud.
quick on it. They're quick.
electric.
They're loud on it. But that's what you need right there, right? Look, it's 2 teams that have traveled well, 2 teams that believe in their program. They both have been intense, and so it's a competitive game. It's competitive from a fan standpoint, and both teams. And this is exciting right now. This is what you want and expect out of 2 teams with really good records. Both believe in their basketball programs, and it's going to come down to the wire, I think.
Here's
A great
Avery
dump
Barnard.
off there. A great dump off by Avery Barnard, driving and dumping it off to number 12, Kiera Boosbaum. And now Beatrice has worked their way all the way back from being down 9 points to now they have a 1-point lead, 30-29, all led by their defense, but then also led by Schwiezo. They're all everything point guard.
Reese Riddle forces a shot, no good. It's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow will keep it with the Red Raiders. With 90 seconds to go until the end of the third quarter, it's 30-29. Beatrice out in front of Sidney. Once again, Beatrice, the 6 seed, Sidney, the 3 seed. And we have a timeout called by head coach Tyler Shaw and the Sidney Red Raiders. So with 1:30 to go in quarter number 3, we'll take a 30-second breather. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Now back to high school basketball on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sater, Jay Foreman back with you from PBA. 1:30 to go in the third quarter in our nightcap between Sidney and Beatrice. Sidney, who had the lead all game long, now trails by 1. Reese Riddle, 3-pointer, no good, but offensive rebound for the Red Raiders. They'll back things out, slow it down now at the top of the key, guarded by Avery Barnard, left side. Now here's Katie Ramsey to Reese Riddle, top of the key, guarded by Avery Barnard. They swapped her onto Riddle. They try to help defender, kick it out. Ramsey, 3-ball, too strong, and the defensive rebound corralled by the Lady Orange. Immediate pressure from the Red Raiders, and that's a good call to call a foul on that one.
Yeah, it was a great rebound right there. Great defensive series for Beatrice. A good offensive set and play coming out of a timeout for Sidney. Now Beatrice has full momentum of this game with 1 minute left in the third quarter. It's going to be interesting to see how Sidney adjusts to this and how they play. They've had control of this game on the scoreboard and from the intensity standpoint from the very jump. Now Beatrice adjusted not only in schematics but in their intensity. And one thing on the defensive side, you see that they are doubling Reese Riddle now to get the ball out of her hand.
And now right side to Hatcliffe, now left to Barnard. Top of the key, Riley Schwiezo. Hatcliffe will travel with it. Now that's the evolution of airballing a couple shots a couple minutes ago. She airballed that shot. Now there's a little hesitation to shoot the trifecta.
There's an old saying, shooters shoot and keep shooting, right?
Yeah.
Because she can make that shot.
Big time.
But then she was predetermined because she airballed one and missed the one before that she was going to drive. But it's a good play.
Yeah.
She could have shot it. Wouldn't have been mad at it. But make sure you have your pivot foot.
Body sped up a little bit.
And body sped up a little bit. Don't get overexcited. Just keep doing what you're doing.
41 seconds to go, third quarter, 30-29. Beatrice with the 1 point lead. Now Katie Ramsey gets her pocket picked by Kiera Busboom. And here come the Lady Orange. Callie Schwiezo up the floor. Here's Hatcliffe. It's a 4-on-3 break. A little out of control on the Lady Orange. Cross court pass Barnard, and they'll back it out. And they'll play for one, and they will.
Beatrice feels really
more than likely going
really good right now. Right, they got Schwiezo on the bench getting a breather, and then they also have the ball in their hands. And Barnard, where you have a Division I softball player, you know that she likes she can handle the pressure. Now, right there, which isn't good, was a Hatcliffe right there. Didn't what I call ball handling, right, catching the ball, which Beatrice has done a really good job all night, catching the ball, passing the ball. Right there, probably thinking about the clock with 3.5 seconds left. Again, speeding up your process, unforced error.
3.5 seconds to go as number 24, Kayla Westby, throws up a half-court heave, and it just goes off the back iron. Had a really good line on it from 35 feet away. But at the end of the third quarter, your score, Beatrice 30, the Sidney Red Raiders 29. Jay and I will be back in a moment with the start of the fourth quarter right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Hey, Joe, check out my new ride. Pretty awesome, huh?
Whoa, that's a sweet convertible. You didn't, win this on a game show, right?
Nope, this is all me and my pals at Members Own Credit Union.
Oh, yeah, they're the people with the great auto loan rates.
And right now, everyone who transfers or gets a new auto loan has the chance to win a $1,000 gas gift card, too.
Well, you know what this means.
Road trip! Fuel your adventure with an auto loan from Members Own. Restrictions apply. Go to membersowncu.org for details.
Now back to high school basketball on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Might go into overtime, baby. Hey, we here for the long haul.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Nick Sainer, Jay Foreman back with you. Start of the fourth quarter. It's 30-29. You know, Jay, I'd be okay with it going to overtime, even though I've been here since 8-10 this morning. We're good. We're good. We've been at some long days of PBA, but we're all for it. As we have a whistle and a stoppage in play. Ball will stay on this end of the floor with Beatrice. 7:47 to go, fourth quarter, 30-29. The Lady Orange have stormed all the way back after being down at half. And they've taken a 1 point lead. Riley Schwiezo with it. Right wing, now dribbles the top of the key, immediately gets doubled. Sidney in a 2-3 zone defense. This is how they started the game, and this pressured Beatrice quite a bit. Let's see if they handle it better 3.5 quarters later. In the lane, Ellie Jurgens comes away with it. Now here comes Sidney.
Great defensive play by Riddle right there to step in and almost draw the charge, but to cause Jurgens to fumble the ball. And then she had the wherewithal to not only get the ball and not travel on her back and get it to the point guard and get it going down the court.
Entry pass way over the head of Reese Riddle, rather. And Beatrice steals it as Hatcliffe has it on the left wing. Now entry pass on the left block. Busboom finds a cutting Schwiezo, and that's a great look. Great job moving without the basketball.
With moving without the basketball and having a plan that I don't need to drive it in there and potentially get a block or stolen, but to shoot a little bit of floater there and make it.
Now Sidney on this end, a missed layup by Kayla Westby results in an Avery Barnard rebound for Beatrice, and here comes Riley Schwiezo with 6:39 to go in the fourth quarter, and Hatcliffe now has it at the logo. Left side Barnard.
This is a really good job by Beatrice of holding their composure, withstanding the storm, and being the storm, like Tom Brady says. Not only are we going to withstand the storm, we are going to bring our own storm and bring the pressure back to Sidney. Now, look, it is 2 times in a row where Jurgens just got to be a little bit stronger with the ball because Sidney has active hands and active feet, and they are definitely aggressive on both sides of the court.
Reese Riddle for the tie, no good, and Avery Barnard collects the miss.
Hey.
So she'll bring it across the timeline. Barnard pushing the pace. It's a 3-on-1. Tries to
good
dump
idea.
it off.
Good idea.
And it's a kicked ball violation, which will give everybody a chance
It was
to
a good
kind of
idea
slow
on
down.
a 3-1 fast break to try to dump it in there to Ellie Jurgens. But Sidney did a good job, kicked the ball, stopped the clock. But on the offensive side of the ball for Sidney, this is the second time in this second half that is noticeable. Even though they play at a high pace, they were playing faster. They were playing in a hurry. See, Sidney, when they're really rolling, they're playing at a fast pace, a real fast pace all the time. Beatrice is up their pressure. Now Sidney is playing in a hurry. You saw him one pass, come down and try to tie the game with a three-point shot. They usually get their three-point shots after the second or third pass. So now, if I'm the coach of Sidney over there, I'm saying, look, we got 6 minutes left. This is going to be a long 6 minutes. We're only down by 3. We have to get back to what we did to be up by 9. It's not. We don't need a three-point shot right now unless we got a wide open one. Take it, but we need to get a good shot, and we need to get some defensive stops because right now, whether Sidney's in a 2-3 zone, the 1-2-2 full court press, or man-to-man, Beatrice is not only getting really good looks, they're operating with efficiency on offense, and now you're seeing them to play with the ultimate confidence, moving without the basketball, making the extra pass, cashing in on 2-on-1s and 3-on-1 fast breaks. So if I'm Sidney, I'm focusing on the defensive end, and I want 3 or 4 passes on the offensive end.
So Beatrice basketball out of the timeout, entry pass to the near corner, Hatcliffe, spin move in the lane, almost lost that pivot foot, but able to get rid of the basketball before she did. Now here's Barnard.
Ooh, that's a good move.
Left.
There it is.
Now
We just
pass.
talked about it right
Great
there.
dump off from Barnard to number
Sweezo.
12, Kiera Busboom.
Sweezo, Barnard, Hatcliffe. That's who's going to win the game right there, right? Sweezo has kept them in the game, brought them back. Barnard, with her experience of being a Division I softball player, plays with poise, right? Likes competition, drove into the middle lane and dumped it off. Look, when you have multi-sport athletes, they're competitors. You knew Beatrice wasn't going to go away easily, but Sidney isn't either. What do? Every time that they're in trouble, they go to a little bit of a three-man weave, get something going to the hoop. Guess what it does? Stop the clock, get to the free throw line. But in the first half, they were making the shot in an and one. Now they got to make their free throws, which they didn't. First, the front end on the front of the one-on-one, Reagan Stanley, the senior guard, 5'2", but averages 5.3 points and 2.3-point rebounds a game, has got to hit the free throws. You have to. Nick, in these type of tight games, right, it comes down to defensive rebounding, turnover margin, free throws.
So 34-30 after Stanley goes 1 of 2 at the line.
Oh, a little full court.
Sweezo.
Full court pressure. Sweezo handled it pretty easily. You got a little gap in the defense.
Jurgens on the left side gives it to Hatcliffe. They'll run Sweezo up top.
Now they're in man-to-man, so guess what they're doing?
That's a bad. That's gonna be a moving screen on.
I don't know about that call there, Nick. I don't know about that call right there.
Think she was set?
I thought she was set.
I'm gonna have to go with the official on that one.
You do? Well, we're just gonna. This is our first disagreement on air. It won't be our last. We never agree on anything.
Every announcing couple has one.
Right? Yeah, but we're not like Shannon and Skip Bayless. We're still gonna be friends. I just felt like she was set. But what happened was Reagan Stanley ran through the pick. So then it looked like she wasn't set.
It also unfortunately it's relied on Sweezo a little bit to make sure
that set like one extra half a second.
Yep.
But guess who agrees with me? Coach Weeks over there giving the ref the business. Yeah,
you know who agrees with me? Sydney Red Raiders head coach Tyler Shaw. Here comes Katie Ramsey up the floor, left side. Now Stanley on the right elbow, kicks it out. Number 24, Westby has it, kicks it out to Stanley. She drives baseline. Nobody stops ball, but she misses the layup.
Bunny.
She misses the layup. We're going to have a foul. There's no jump ball. We're going to have a foul.
Looked like Reagan Stanley. Looked like she blew a tire there. Probably she was going there to try to get the jump ball, a little loose ball foul there, I think. And a little bit.
Wow, we're going to have a foul called on Beatrice.
Oh. I don't like that call. I do not like that call if I'm Coach Weeks. Here's why, Nick. That's the third offensive foul. It's an aggressive game, and she went in there and usually the refs either call a jump ball early or a foul. He let it go on, and you have to allow the young lady to establish her presence, and she had the ball first, and you called an offensive foul. That's a third. This is a game-changing call right there. Coach Weeks is giving them the business right now. He is giving them, and looking over there in Sidney crowd, you have the young lady over there pumping the crowd up. Next thing you know, we're going to have the wave going on, and then all pandemonium is going to be breaking out here at PBA at 10 o'clock at night.
Westby in the lane, misses the layup, and the rebound goes to Beatrice. So they get another another crack at defensive rebound. Now here's number 2, Avery Barnard. She gets her pocket picked from behind by Stanley. In transition, it's a one-on-one. Stanley can't hit the layup for the second straight time.
If I'm Beatrice's head coach, Coach Weeks, this game is getting out of control. We're losing momentum, playing the way that Sidney wants to play. He has plenty of timeouts left. You got to burn the timeout. You have momentum. 4-point lead, 4 minutes and 19 seconds left. We are trying to get them to pump the brakes. Sidney's coach did him a favor right there. I'm sending him a thank you card.
Because my man Tyler Shaw.
Yeah, but he did a favor right there. You have momentum. You like to play helter-skelter, right?
Yeah.
See, 4 minutes left is an eternity for Sidney. This is what they're built for. Being down by 4, playing helter-skelter. You have the momentum, active hands, active feet. Reagan Stanley has 2 separate steals on the ball pressure. She has the pressure. She has the momentum. So you did Beatrice a favor, allowing them to adjust. Even if they get a score, they're thinking about what they can do against that one-on-one pressure because they were facing a 1-2-2 full court zone. Now you're doing man pressure. Now you're trying to get into your best ball handler. Schweezo's coming off the bench, who's going to be able to settle down the crowd here.
Before we get back to the action, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Back here on at Pinnacle Bank Arena, and we missed a crazy three-pointer to pull Sidney within 1. It's 34-33. Hatcliffe breaks the pressure. She crosses the timeline. Directly in front of us now, Ellie Jurgens. Remember, she's been sped up a couple times. She misses the layup, gets it back, and she is fouled.
That was a great play by Ellie Jurgens. And I'm going to tell you what, that was a great timeout by Tyler Shaw. I stand corrected. Nick Sainter's half-brother from another mother is correct. Came out of a timeout, did what's called an Iverson cut, shot it for a three-point play, nothing but net, got the momentum back. But give Ellie Jurgens credit. Got sped up a little bit, shot the ball, missed it. Got potentially 2 shots at the free throw line. Missed the first one now. She has got to get some points out of this free throw attempt right here.
I'll tell you what I just saw, though, Jay, is so while Callie Schweezo is in the game, Riley Schweezo, her older sister, is on the bench telling her what she needs to do differently on the defensive end of the floor. And I just saw Callie Schweezo kind of nod her head saying, okay, I got it. So that's something to watch.
They know how they do that in the backyard.
Riley Schweezo, a senior, Callie Schweezo, who's on the floor right now, just a freshman.
Yeah, you know what? You're not a freshman anymore when you're playing for a state championship, right?
Yeah.
So Beatrice is buying time right now. Where you got Schweezo on the bench, guess what?
She's right back.
Right there. Look, his ears must have been burning. I said you need them. You don't just need one Schweezo. You need 2. The older sister comes in for the younger sister.
Yeah.
Okay. You got Hatcliffe right here. You got Barnard. So you got the 3-guard action that have been able to bring them back in the game and control the game. It's up to them to finish the game right here against this pressure, because what you have right now is Reagan Stanley cranking up the pressure.
That's going to be an offensive foul. Riley Schweezo, I thought that was a good call. I'm not going to lie, Jay. I mean, that was right in front of us.
Riley Schweezo is just fouled out of the game.
Yeah.
That is a huge call.
That's a tough offensive foul call.
It is.
I'm pretty sure I saw some extension of the right arm there.
A little bit, but I don't know if you call that. Nick, it's 4 offensive fouls in a game.
I understand that, but that should tell you that you can't get away with anything right there.
Yeah, but then also that you're bodying up. This is just aggressive. You got to let them play.
I understand
that. This is a
championship
game.
They haven't been letting them play all game long.
But then you got to get out of the way. We're talking about the refs right now, and you got one of the best players in the state watching right now with 4 minutes left or 3 minutes left in the game.
Layup for Sidney is good, and we got a tie ball game. All I'm saying is there was a reason, Jay, that we were at the second quarter and they were already.
Barnard going coast to coast.
And there's a foul.
See there, right there. Barnard said, "Listen here, my teammate is over there, but the game's not over." She's announcing her presence in this game. I don't like the call, considering that you've called offensive fouls.
Oh, I agree.
Even the offensive foul before
It's
that
not that
under
I
the
like
jump
the
ball.
call,
Right.
but just understanding the trend of the game.
That's part of coaching,
That's
right?
how we are.
Understand they're going to call a lot of offensive fouls. They're going to call a lot of travels. It's a ticky-tack game, and you're going to be sped up a little bit against the pressure of Sidney. Don't play into it. Now, what you have to do, if I was coaching right now, I would say, hey, look, when they want you to play fast, play slower, and then therefore you will nullify your chances of getting offensive fouls.
Avery Barnard misses both free throws, and it goes out of bounds to the Red Raiders. Tempers are rising.
This is pressure. This is what it's all about right here.
In the lane, we have
Mike.
a foul
Oh.
as Jordan Nevelis is tripped up, and she'll go line to shoot two.
The turf monster, the court monster.
Your best friend?
Nick, now listen.
We always squeak it in a broadcast. We always squeak it in. And I was worried for a little bit there because we almost got through the entire game.
We almost did.
Talking about it.
You just couldn't help yourself.
You brought it up.
The court monster came in where she tripped over her own feet, a la Jay Foreman against Oklahoma in 1996. But instead of me getting a touchdown, she got the foul called. Now she's at the free throw line trying to get a 1 point lead.
It works out for some people.
Oh, missed
She
both
missed
free
both
throws.
free throws. It goes to the Lady Orange, and Ellie Jurgens corrals the miss. So now Callie Schwezo is in the game for Riley Schwezo. Because Riley Schwezo decided to foul, or not decided,
Well, Coach
but had to foul out.
Weeks has a lot of confidence in Hatcliffe and Barnard. If I'm not running a set for a play or for a player, I am going.
That's a travel.
Ellie
Jurgens took too many steps with it.
This might be the most travels I've seen called in a state championship game in a long, long time.
Well, unfortunately, what Ellie Jurgens did there, she stopped at the elbow. She jump stopped at the elbow and then took two more steps trying to get closer to the hoop to finish off a layup, and you just can't do that.
Yeah, that's a high school travel NBA play on.
2:27 to go. We're all knotted up at 35 between the 3 seed, the Sidney Red Raiders, and the 6 seed, the Beatrice Lady Orange. Three ball on the way, rattles out, and the defensive rebound to Hatcliffe. Beatrice chasing down from behind.
Hatcliffe is going
Stanley.
all the way.
Hatcliffe, layup,
Great
good.
play by Hatcliffe. Timeout by Weeks. I've been sitting on when Coach Weeks is going to burn a timeout, because when you have your best player foul out of the game so early, you want to get momentum back and get everybody settled down. But you know what? It let me know Coach Weeks has a tremendous amount of confidence in all his players.
Yeah.
So whether it's freshman, Chuizo in there, whether it's Barnard or Hatcliffe, they know what they're doing. Now you had a 3-guard attack that let you come back and get the lead of the game. Now you're only down to 2 with a freshman Chuizo coming in. You got to think Beatrice feels that they can win this game. Now, if I'm Sidney, now look, all I'm saying is look, we battled back. I'm trying to get the ball into Reese Riddle's hands, but I'm also asking everybody else to cut off of it. You know they're going to double team and get the hands out of it. So let's get an easy shot here. When you look at the fouls, right? Beatrice has 9 fouls. Oddly enough, Sidney has 5. So anything that you get going to the rim, these refs have shown that they're going to call it. So we're going to get free throws. So now we're saying, hey, listen, let's get a good shot, get to the free throw line, make our free throws, defense get stopped, and start to play like that. So both teams are thinking the same thing. Beatrice is coming out there and say, look, let's not give them nothing cheap, okay? But let's also make sure we're still aggressive. Now, what you have to do if you're Beatrice, if you're a guard or a forward that can handle the ball, you cannot vacate after a defensive rebound.
37-35, the Lady Orange ahead of number 3 seed, the Sidney Red Raiders. We are under 2 minutes to go in the game. Sidney stops on the left block, finds Reese Riddle in the lane, takes the contact, and she is fouled.
Wow.
She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Reese Riddle gets the job done. If she gets in there, she's throwing numerous fakes, head fakes, up and under, spin moves. She's a really special player that's able to get her shot off against anybody, regardless if they're taller or shorter against her.
But Reese Riddle misses the first free throw. Now, 2 things to watch, Jay. 1 for each team. Number 13 on Sidney, Jordan DeNevelis has 4 fouls. Ellie Jurgens for Beatrice also has 4 fouls. Sidney will be in the double bonus the rest of the way, while Sidney still has 2 fouls to give. So here we are.
Barnard.
Avery Barnard
They are
running
breaking
coast
down.
to coast.
They are breaking down the
Great
press.
find, and she can't hang on to the basketball. It goes out of bounds. It was a good find by Avery Barnard, but unfortunately, Anna Gleason was not able to handle the pass in the far corner, and so it's a turnover, and it goes back to the
That's a learning lesson for any young lady watching. Don't catch the ball with one hand. Catch it with two. You have two hands for a reason. One hand, leave it to the pros.
Kicks it out. Reese Riddle, left wing. She's guarded by Anna Gleason. She drives. Pump fakes. Shot. No good. Gets her own miss. Goes up again, and she is fouled by Anna Gleason. That's her third.
I got to start getting the dump button here. Look, Beatrice has 12 fouls, and they're winning the game.
Yeah.
Physical game. You got to, at some point, you have to decide, are we going to let them play or we're going to control the game? Because these are two teams that are really, really competitive.
First free throw from Reese Riddle is good. We're all knotted up at 37. 1:23 to play. And you know darn well, Jay, that it's killing Riley Schwezo not to be out there right now.
She's doing the best job she can, is cheering on her teammates and being the leader of the team as she's been all year.
Second free throw is good for Reese Riddle. It's a 1-point Red Raider lead. 38-37, 1:21 to play. Beatrice brings it up the floor, cross-court pass. Gleason on the perimeter, finds a cutting Hatcliffe in the lane, gets bumped, and there's a travel from Hatcliffe.
Again, it's one of those plays. Does the defensive player give the offensive player enough time to make a basketball move? It's two times. It's not happening. And if I'm Coach Weeks, I might have to call a timeout and tighten these refs up a little bit.
But before he does, Tyler Shaw for Sidney calls one. And with 1:03 to play, it's going to be Sidney basketball. After we come back, they lead 38-37. And we'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket.
What does continuing education mean to you? At Southeast Community College, it means helping you advance. Whether that's a certification to help your current career or learning an entirely new career in healthcare, trades and industry, or computers and technology, SCC can help you take the next step. Financial assistance is available too. Learn more about our continuing ed classes at southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to personal and professional development.
Now back to high school basketball on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
1:03 to go. 38-37 the score. Sidney, who led pretty much the entirety of the first half and even parts of the third quarter, gave up the lead late. 30-29. Beatrice took their first lead of the game. And now Sidney leads by 1, 38-37. The Red Raiders are the 3 seed. Beatrice, the 6 seed. The Red Raiders on the year, 24-2. Their 2 losses when it came to Gordon Rushville by a score of 42-37. Then to Scotts Bluff, 57-46, just a couple weeks ago. But here are the Red Raiders with the basketball. Remember, no shot clock as she almost gets her pocket picked, and now a foul is going to be called on Hatcliffe. Stanley was up against that timeline, up against that half-court line, and was close to getting her pocket picked from behind from her by Hatcliffe. But she's able to grab the basketball back, and they call a foul. So now at the line to shoot 2, Stanley, and she hits the first.
Yeah, I mean, right now, if you're Sidney, you think you have advantage of the game. Not only do you have the lead, you have 2 fouls to give, or at least 1 foul to give, and on a jump ball, you get possession.
Second free throw is also good for Stanley. It's a 3-point ball game, 40-37. Inbound to Hatcliffe. She saves it from going, or she does not save it from going out of bounds. And it's Sidney basketball with 55 seconds to play.
Yeah, Beatrice is going to have to go to a face guarding defense and try to trap and then go for the jump ball, or, worst case scenario, foul him getting to the free throw line, because Sidney can just play keep away right now, right? So, again, they have the advantage of the possession on a jump ball, and they have their best player, which is Reese Riddle with the ball. That could have been an offensive foul, right there, when you're extending the arm a la Schwezo. So now you're looking for,
and now we have a ball that's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Sidney, by Beatrice. It'll stay with Sidney.
As a coach and assistant coach, you got to be cognizant of the clock in the situation because you can't let too much go off.
Stanley inbounds it to Reese Riddle, and she'll go to the line after she's immediately fouled to shoot 2.
And okay, so right now you have to have a game plan. This is probably something that you hopefully practice, right? Into the game situation, less than a minute. You're down by 3 points. You potentially could be down by 5. If you're down by 5, you got to get the ball in, break the press, and break the pressure, and get a shot at the hoop here.
First free throw by Riddle is up and good. It's a 4-point ball game.
Yeah, so well, Sidney down the stretch, has made their free throws all game long. Reese Riddle and her other teammates haven't made free throws in the first 3 quarters. Right now, when it's money time, they've been making them all.
Second one for Riddle is up and no good. It's a 4-point ball game. 38 seconds. There has to be a sense of urgency if you're Beatrice. Hatcliffe driving the length of the floor. On the right side is Hatcliffe. She's got picked up by Stanley. Now Ellie Jurgens, top of the key. Gleason, 3, too short. Offensive rebound, Hatcliffe, and she is fouled by Stanley.
On the floor now. He called it on the floor. There's 22 seconds left. So if I'm Beatrice, I need something going to the hoop right now. Not only will it be a foul going to potentially a shooting foul, worst case scenario, you're shooting 1-on-1.
So here inbound pass, Hatcliffe. She'll step back. 3
3.
Ball just off. Offensive rebound. Jurgens. She gets it ripped out of her hands. It'll stay with Beatrice after it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Sidney Red Raiders. 13.9 on the clock.
Again, same game plan, right? You go for a quick shot. You either go for the 3 or you go for the quick 2.
Hatcliffe with the 3, air ball. They'll try to save it from going out of bounds. Won't do so.
That was not blocked? Yeah, that might be blocked. I thought that was blocked. That was really, really short. I would have liked to see if they could call that a block there.
So now we have an immediate foul on Reese Riddle, and Anna Gleason has fouled out of the game. So Reese Riddle with 8.9 on the clock has a chance to make it a 6-point ball game if she can hit both of these free throws. Reese Riddle at the line, 8.9 on the clock. First one up, and it is good for Reese Riddle.
Yeah, they have not missed a free throw down the stretch here. And, this is a tale of 2 halves when you think of the fouls, right?
Yeah.
Sidney was in extreme foul trouble in the first half. Beatrice has more than doubled Sidney in the second half, and they've been winning the whole game. And so that's what's really been interesting in the sense of the tale of 2 halves, right? You come back all the way back, and you end up leading after the third quarter by 2 points, but you're in super foul trouble. You're already in the double bonus, and for the last 2 minutes, all you've been doing, either whether it's an offensive foul, a traveling, or a defensive foul, Sidney's been at the free throw line. They haven't been good all game, but when it's come down to money time, especially with Reese Riddle, she's made every single one of them. And so now they're up by 6 with 8.9 seconds left. It's a tall task for Beatrice to come back. They will have to get a quick 3, either get a steal and another 3, or a quick 3, foul, miss the first front end of that free throw, which is actually double bonus, so miss both free throws, and get another quick 3. And that's if Sidney doesn't take any time off the clock or anything like that. But
So
Sidney,
now it will be Beatrice basketball.
yeah. See, Sidney, even they have one person up having a little bit of ghost pressure, take the time off the clock, but they do not need to foul. So here,
Hatcliffe.
Yeah, this is
almost gets taken away from her. Barnard chucks up a shot, no good. There's the horn, and it is over. Sidney comes from behind, and they beat the Beatrice Lady Orange 43-37, and they move on to tomorrow afternoon semifinal, and they will play Omaha Skutt Catholic and Peyton McCabe at 3:15.
Yeah, it was a great game. 2 competitive teams, a very physical game. Really just came down to a couple turnovers, costly turnovers on Beatrice end, and free throws. And that in Sidney, with their pressure, in the first half, got a pretty sizable lead. Beatrice showed the heart of a champion to come back and take the lead, take the momentum of the game. Had full momentum. Shuizo, unfortunately fouls out, and that changed the complexity of the game with about 3.5 minutes left. But they still stayed right there. Just had a couple of costly turnovers. Have a couple seniors. They have some juniors and a lot of sophomores. Beatrice will be a team to be reckoned with next year. They shouldn't hold their heads down. I know it's a very emotional time because you have some young ladies that won't play basketball anymore. You want to look, it doesn't matter if you're seated number 1 or number 8. You don't show up at the state tournament thinking that you're going to lose. And you're a highly contested game, a very physical game, competitive game, and you come out on the short end. You see Beatrice, obviously, upset, as they should be, because they care. And you see a team with elation, which is Sidney, came down here, smaller school, nobody really knows them, came on the map, only lost two times. You see why they've only lost 2 times, right? Under pressure, they knew how to play. Get the ball to Riddle to get the control of the game. Get to the free throw line. You trust for Riddle that she's gonna make them. She stepped up, Nick, and went 5 or 6 on money time. Look at the end of the score, 43-37. They end up winning by 6. Riddle hits all 5 or 5 of the 6 in the first half. Neither team can make a free throw, especially Sidney. So a really, really good game. And if this is going to be, a precursor to me and you being on, I'm excited for the next two Fridays here. Because it's going to be 2 competitive games tomorrow night in Class A. And then next week as well, and I'll probably do some spot duty. This has been, look, I love basketball, whether it's girls or boys, but I like competitive basketball, and I'm really, really excited to see what comes tomorrow night.
It's a pretty cool picture over there, pretty cool spectacle as Riley and Callie Schwezo for Beatrice are the last 2 to leave the court. Obviously, Riley going to graduate. Callie has 3 more seasons left to play at Beatrice, and obviously Riley Schwezo fouled out that one moment, and that, disappointment and sadness overcoming all of the Beatrice Lady Orange players. Once again, your final score: Sidney, the Red Raiders, beat Beatrice 43-37 to advance to the semifinal tomorrow. They'll play Omaha Skutt Catholic at 3:15. You can hear that one on the ticket. The other Class B quarterfinal will be Elkhorn North against. Oh gosh, see, I'm blanking on the name, Jay. I had this. I had it planned. I had it planned. I just tripped out. Malcolm. No. Elkhorn North against the York Dukes, and then in Class A action, it's going to be Millard South against Bellevue West, and then Millard North against Lincoln High. So we'll have those 4 games. But first up at 9 a.m. tomorrow, it's Class C1 semifinal with Malcolm against the North Bend Central Tigers. So we are done for day number 2 from the girls' high school state basketball tournament at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Nick Sainert and Jay Foreman saying so long. We'll talk to you at 9 a.m. tomorrow for the C1 semifinal.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationship